BB 851, turn right, heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established.
Boeing's aircraft orders are crucially important within the aviation industry, as they are for any aircraft manufacturer, and as recently covered here on the channel, Airbus themselves were dealt a blow following the cancellation of 63 A330neo aircraft from AirAsia. However, American aircraft manufacturer Boeing, who recently announced their delivery results, discussed the ongoing war in Ukraine, and therefore the subsequent impact on the Russian aviation industry with the various sanctions in place that are now therefore affecting their delivery and order book with Russia. They announced adjustments of deals due to sanctions and more that sees Russian carriers' commitments removed, for the time being at least. There is always the promise that these orders could, and I want to emphasize could, eventually come back within the industry. However, in its current state, that is very, and I want to repeat once again, very hard to see. It could be quite the lengthy period before this is reinstated, if it is reinstated at all. The total order units that the aircraft manufacturer is seeing impacted sit at around 141 jets, although this could be more. These 141 jets are comprised of the 737 MAX mostly, which is not surprising, as at the end of the day it is one of their most popular aircraft. In addition, given its narrow-body nature, and therefore capability to fly with any kind of airline, big or small, it makes sense. While on top of this, it was quoted that a handful of 787s and 777s were included or potentially added on to this 141 unit tally. For Airbus and other aircraft manufacturers, if you were at all curious, with customers within Ukraine and Russia that had orders already placed before the war broke out, they are also having to go about their own way of removing these due to the sanctions and the inability for the customer to naturally be welcoming on aircraft at this stage. Of course, these two sectors are crumbling at the moment. We've seen these sanctions and the nightmares ongoing in Russia for leasing contracts, as briefly covered here on the channel, involving the Boeing 747, although it's far more expansive than just the 747, with hundreds of aircraft stuck in Russia that are on a lease, as these major aviation leasing companies like BOC Aviation, the Air Lease Corporation, AirCap, and much more attempt to get their planes back before we see depreciation in the value of the aircraft overall. You can probably imagine, therefore, the delivery of a new aircraft from, say, Airbus or Boeing is entirely out of the question to Russia or Ukraine due to the image it would give the aircraft manufacturer in question delivering a jet to that said location. But with some further research, it's very easy to tell that for Airbus it's similar to Boeing with Russian carrier commitments. However, unlike Boeing, this information is not typically publicly disclosed until years or months after. It's instead placed in limbo as a firm assessment is made. Either way, for Boeing, the risk of losing a further 141 orders completely, that I repeat could not come back, is even more concerning. And while the sectors that they would have gone to are no-go zones, they could be holding out the slightest hope that tensions do ease. Peace can therefore be made, and the world can finally restore to some normality, which of course would improve the quality of life for so many people, but on a business standpoint, for the likes of Boeing, would allow for the easing of supply chains and also see deliveries recommence and orders not have to be removed. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Be sure to check out the weekly DJ's Aviation podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts for a whole lot more content. Until the next video, do take care and be safe, and I will see you then.